the midst of the essentially explosion of Facebook that happened last night after healthcare legislation was finally passed in the House of Representatives and Senate. It's the same version, so that's always fun. After that was finally passed, Facebook essentially exploded with tons of opinions one way or the other. And in the midst of all this, I found an image posted by a guy I went to high school with, who it was just a picture, a screenshot of a message board, an image board thing. I believe it was 4chan. One of those rare moments where there's actual intelligence on 4chan rather than just animated gifs of a loaf of bread fucking a teenage girl. Just to mention a little bit of the strange shit that I've seen on that that website. I don't even feel comfortable calling it a website because it's the internet. We all know that. But there's a great post, and I have it typed out here, and I'm going to read it to you, so I apologize for not being able to look at it, but there's no way, in the midst of trying to study for a biology exam tomorrow and beginning an investigation for a story I'm working on for the student newspaper, that I have the time to and mental power to dedicate to memorizing this. So you're going to have badly and poorly. I kind of hold it up here a little bit, so maybe I'm looking a little less. I don't know. Anyway, enough fucking around. Here I go. This morning, I was awoken by my alarm clock powered by electricity generated by the public power monopoly regulated by the U.S. Department of Energy. I then took a shower in the clean water provided by the municipal water utility. After that, I turned on the TV to one of the FCC-regulated channels to see what the National Weather Service of the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration determined the weather was going to be like using satellites designed, built, and launched by the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. I watched this while eating my breakfast of U.S. Department of Agriculture inspected food and taking the drugs which have been determined as safe by the Food and Drug Administration. At the appropriate time, as regulated by the U.S. Congress and kept accurate by the National Institute of Standards and Technology and the U.S. Naval Observatory, I get into my National Highway Traffic Safety approved automobile and set out to work on the roads built by the local, state, and federal departments of transportation, possibly stopping to purchase additional fuel of a quality level determined by the Environmental Protection Agency. Using legal tender issued by the Federal Reserve Bank, on the way out the door, I deposit any mail I have to be sent out via the U.S. Postal Service and drop the kids off at the public school. After work, I drive my NHTSA car back home on the DOT roads to a house which is not burned down in my absence because of the state and local codes, building codes, and fire marshal's inspection, which has not been plundered. I fucked that bit up, but I'm just going to keep going on. That is not burned down in my absence because of the state and local building codes and fire marshal's inspection, and which has not been plundered of all its valuables thanks to the local police department. I then log onto the internet, which was developed by the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, and post on freerepublic.com and Fox News forums about how socialism in medicine is bad because the government can't do anything right. Obviously, it's a bit of satire there, kind of criticizing the nature of people to so heavily benefit from a variety of socialist programs, and whether they realize it or not, or they're against it, they directly benefit from it, and they see the tangible benefits of these socialist programs, and then they complain about how you should keep the government out of things, despite the fact that their lives are solely based on the power of the government to do good. Now, yes, there is a lot that the government does that is bad, but I honestly don't think it surmounts to the amount that it does good. There's a significant amount that it does bad, but overall, because they have to satiate the masses in order to do any of the things that we would consider bad, they have to do a ridiculous amount of good things for us. So, there's a lot that gets done that's good for us, that's good for everybody, that's good for any citizen or non-citizens. I'm sure tourists and family visitors benefit heavily from clean water and regulated roads and shit like that. everyone benefits from the system and that thing, and everyone also pitches in. I mean, even tourists pitch in, because tourists will probably buy stuff, and at that point will be paying sales taxes. So they will contribute in some way to the system, and then the system gives benefits back. It's not perfect, by no means, but that's the point of politics and political discussion, is to come to some point where indeed we can try and fight for that perfect system and try our best to attain it, and try our best to come up with something that benefits as many people as it possibly can, with obviously the least downsides. We're far off from that goal, but we still need to try. And that kind of diverged a little off topic there into sort of a rallying call, but anyway, obviously this is just a one-take video, so it's going to kind of end abruptly.